on the Aggie Sports Network. From Learfield, Aggie basketball has been brought to you by Sports Academy and Racket Club. Your club, your results, your life. Zions Bank. For 150 years of helping you succeed, Zions Bank is for you. Ford. Build Ford proud. Also by Stokes. Stokes Trucking. Doing the right thing since 1979. Welcome to Aggie Postgame. From the All-in-One Flooring America radio booth, here's Scott Gerard.
Final in this one, Utah State gets it done. 88-72 for the first time in 2001. Utah State gets an NCAA tournament victory. And joining us now, Darius Brown. Hey, let's go all the way back to, May, June, whenever you signed with Utah State. And you talked about how crazy some of those early workouts, you and Great were like, what have we gotten ourselves into? And now you're punching your ticket into the round of 32, man. Congratulations.
Man, it's crazy. There's no way I would have thought we could have did this back in June. It was a rough summer, but, man, I'm so glad this team is so relentless, man. We went hard every day and just kept riding it out, and it all paid off. We paid ourselves with this one.
TCU came in. I watched that press conference. They were super confident. And I don't want to say they were dismissive, but you knew that they felt like they liked this matchup. What was it that gave you guys the quiet confidence that you felt like we can go in there and get this W against these guys?
We've been doubted all year, starting from the preseason polls, coaches poll, media polls for the Mountain West, all that. And then we even thought that with our seed, we thought our seed was a little too high. We thought that we worked really hard during the season, non-conference, regular conference, to get a higher seed. But we played with the cards that were dealt, and we just knew that we weren't going to be favored in this game. And because they're a great team, Big 12 conference, TCU, great team, and we just knew that we were going to be the underdogs, and that's fine. We've been that all year, so it's our comfort zone.
They kept talking about, and the big concern was turnovers. You guys didn't turn the ball over. There were a few that were kind of self-inflicted, but you didn't let the turnovers get to you in this game. What was it about your game plan that allowed you guys to be so efficient there?
Well, taking care of the ball is always one of those key things that we need to do to win, and we just knew that we had to leave it all out here, and we knew that we had to try to be perfect, and it's hard to be perfect, but we knew to try to be perfect. The thing that got us was the rebounds, not the turnovers. I think we were under 10, so that's good. But we lost the rebounding battle, but this team just kept fighting, man. Isaac, so proud of him, man.
Yeah.
And Josh, huge minutes. Just great. It was just great all the way around.
Hey, go enjoy it. Congratulations,
yes, sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. There he is, Darius Brown. Joining us now, Andy Hill. A lot of sweat on that headset, but that's all right.
I'm going to do, let's see here. Do you got a towel?
I do not have a towel.
You got one of these?
Yeah, there's a paper there.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this game tonight, and most of it's on that headset for Andy Hill. Coach, tell you what, you've been around a lot of great coaches. You've been around a lot of great programs. You've experienced a lot of great things. Where does this rank?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, like Darius said, to think about where we were last June and to where we are now, it's remarkable, and a credit to these kids, the great job they have done, and the hard work and the perseverance, and just the team coming together. So it's pretty awesome. I mean, to win a tournament game, some coaches go their career not having a chance to even go to the tournament, but then to win a game, it's pretty special, and you've got to be very thankful and grateful.
You were down 18-10 right out of the gate, and you saw their athleticism on display, but yet you saw your maturity on display.
Yep.
And you guys have handled a lot of adversity, and you're like, and your guys just like, all right, fine. And before too long, you whittle it away. You take the lead into halftime. I think that was just a great microcosm of who this team has been all season long.
Yeah, absolutely. They kept fighting. It takes a little bit getting used to. I mean, they've got San Diego State-type athletes out there in strength. New Mexico comes to mind. And so to be able to kind of get used to that for a second and then withstand it and fight back, the guys did a great job.
So I didn't have Isaac Johnson leading the team in scoring on my bingo board going into this game, but how great was he and the moments? And it seemed like when he got it going offensively, he had block shots on the other end and some big moments. It translated to the other side of the ball.
Yeah, he did an awesome job. Just really happy for him to be able to do that in this environment. And Isaac's worked hard. He's probably improved about as much as anybody since June to now. And so to see him get rewarded for that, super cool.
Josh Aduje played well. So many guys stepped up. I know offensive rebounding still wasn't what you'd like, but or getting defensive rebounds.
Yeah.
They got you a little bit on the glass, but you didn't turn the ball over. As you know, that was the other thing. It was going to be turnovers and rebounding, but yet you didn't have the catastrophic turnovers. There were some self-inflicted weird turnovers in there, but for the most part, you guys kept that in check, and you forced turnovers on the other end.
Yeah, absolutely. The guys did a good job of forcing some turnovers. We had a couple trap plans in place, and they executed those. I think Miller, I don't know if he ended up with an assist. I don't have the stat sheet, but I know he had 3 or 4 turnovers, and so they did a good job with that.
Did not have an assist in this game.
Yeah, awesome. They did a good job with that. The only thing you'd like to be better on is that glass. And they get you moving, and they're quick twitch to it. And so, again, it took a little while. I think they only had a couple offensive rebounds in the second half, though.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yep.
Yeah. It was mainly the first half, and then we did a good job of, getting dirty and getting the ball.
But, the other thing, too, they were only +5 in second chance points. So it's not like there was a huge scoring advantage there.
No, it felt like it, but it really wasn't. So, again, that's a good thing if you're going to give up offensive rebounds. So, don't want to give them up, but at least they didn't put too many back.
But it just felt like, you started cold from the three-point line, and then second half, you just saw that confidence just start to ooze. And as a coach, when you feel that momentum, that's got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, and there were some I thought they were a little more open in the second half.
Yeah.
For the most part, just had a little bit different feel. So, they went in, and we'll take it.
It's one of the best defensive teams in the Big 12, and you scored 88 points on them.
Yeah, it's awesome. The guys did a good job, and the whole key was no turnovers and getting good shots.
So what are these next 48 hours for you like? Because guess what? You won this game. Now you get Zach Edey, who had 30 and 23.
Yeah, I mean, it's what it is, survive in advance, and now we'll move on to getting ready for Purdue, and they'll present a whole nother problems, and we'll have to get ready for that. But, the good thing is we get to get ready for that.
Before I let you go, though, how does it feel to be the team that snapped? 10 straight losses in the first round for Utah State. I don't know if that was something you guys talked about. Utah State had not won a first-round game since 2001, before a lot of these kids were even born.
Yep.
And 10 straight losses to end that streak and be the team that you guys had to cobble together in the offseason and all this stuff. What are the emotions like? You're cool and calm right now, but what's this like?
I was more pissed last week, as you know.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but we responded, and sometimes that's what it is. We talked about it. I think it was on Sunday. We brought the team together and said, hey, listen, we got a chance to do something that hasn't been done in a while here, and that's pretty special. And I think they bought into that, which was awesome. They had a good week of practice. So you're excited for that. It feels really good, honestly. Like I say, you just want to enjoy it and soak it up because it doesn't come around every day. And so we're super fortunate, and credit to these guys that they bought in and worked hard. Credit to Darius tonight. I think he tied or broke the season single assist record, and then this is the largest victory by an Aggie team in the NCAA tournament. So they've done a lot of things, accomplished a lot of things in one season that is super cool, and they'll be in the record books for that. And now we get to play another one.
Well, Coach, before I let you go, just on a personal note, as an alum, as a guy that's been around this program for a long time, it was a student in 2001 when they beat Ohio State in the NCAA tournament. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because this was unexpected. That was just a phenomenal game, and congratulations. But I think there's a lot of Aggie fans out there that just want to give you a heartfelt congratulations and a thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, and thank you to the team. It's a privilege to be a part of, and special deal. So thanks, Scotty.
Hey,
all right, buddy.
Congratulations.
Yep,
Love you, brother.
Yep.
There he is. big win tonight for Utah State, and you're going to hear from Danny Sprinkle here momentarily. He's going to go to the podium and talk about this one. We'll take that podium feed, and you'll be able to hear from Danny Sprinkle, your post-game show, brought to you by Farm Bureau agent Brandon Jensen. Contact him right now at 435-752-4800. It's your future. Let's protect it. Well, this magical season for Utah State continues on, at least for one more game. We'll give you all the details on when that next game is going to be played as Utah State will take on Purdue. Zach Edey, the National Player of the Year, just a phenomenal talent. You won't see a lot of guys like him. There's not a lot of guys like him on the planet that just can play like him, that has his size, his skill set. But you know what? Don't worry about it right now. Enjoy this one as Utah State getting set to address the podium. And as soon as Christian gives me the green light, you'll hear from Coach. In fact, let's go there right now.
We kind of controlled a little bit of the game by not turning the ball over, and so we didn't allow them to get easy buckets. You know, they got a couple early, but I thought our guys really adjusted after the first 5 minutes and, you know, just played fantastic.
Questions, please. Raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. Right here.
Jack Johnson from the Utah Statesman. Isaac, you've been in and out as a starter all year, and today you showed that you can take your game to the next level in the big dance. What do you think of that, and what do you think of your gameplay, and how are you going to translate that into the game on Sunday?
Isaac?
First off, I appreciate it. Thank you. I think this coaching staff has done a really good job of being confident in all of us. We all have some special abilities and special talents on this team, and that's been showcased throughout the year. And so first off, that's a big kudos to our coaching staff. Coach came to me before the game and said, shoot the ball and be confident. And so I took his advice. And I think going into this next game, Zach Edey he's got national attention for a reason. He's not just a big body. He's a really good player. And so we have to continue to be physical like we were with this TCU team, and then take care of the ball. And I guess I can continue to shoot the ball well and be confident in that. And then the rest of the team, same thing. We share the ball, and when we do, it's successful.
Questions, please. Right here. Right here.
Sean Harrison with the Herald Journal. Also to Isaac, there's been times when you've had games like this where you've kind of shown some meanness. How can you bottle it up and do that every time out? I'm sure Coach Sprinkle is wanting you to do that.
Isaac?
I think it's more so just my mindset and belief in myself. That's something that I've really been working on. That's actually the reason that I decided to redshirt last year. There's been a bit of a mental battle going on, and this year has really taught me how to believe in myself and have that confidence in myself. And it's been such a great help to have my teammates and coaches have that confidence in me. And so when I have these games, I think it teaches me the player I can be. And I'm just going to try to continue to believe in myself and rely on my coaches and teammates when it's ups and downs. So
Over here.
This is for anybody, but probably for Coach Sprinkle. It looked like you guys were lobbing the ball around a lot, doing some cross-court passes, and it seemed like it made a big team be small. Was that part of your strategy going into the game?
Coach?
Yeah. You know, they try to side you in kind of their ball screen defense, and even overall, like, they really load to the basketball when the ball's on the outer third. And so we told our guys we have to skip the ball. Like, we have to skip the ball to relieve some of that pressure and make them have some long closeouts. And then we either have shots or we got to attack them, and then we got to try and play the backside again. And I thought Darius had some great skip passes in the first half, but then everybody started doing it. You know, these two started doing it. Mason, Josh, like, you know, I felt like we kind of got them scrambling a little bit because of our skip passes. And then you have to make the shot, you know, which these guys did.
Right here in the front.
Jason Walker with Cash Relay Daily. Ian, I'll ask you this. You guys started off shooting a little cold. You were, I think, 3 of 10 to start the game, but then you had stretches where you made like 6 straight, 7 straight later in that first half. How did you guys kind of turn around to a bit of a slow start to, you know, finishing off the half really well offensively?
Question for Ian.
Like Isaac had mentioned, you know, Coach always tells us to keep shooting the ball and be confident in ourselves. And between the players, you know, we always try to keep each other up. And Darius was out there making good plays at the beginning, you know, getting guys open, hitting the open guys. And it was just like, hey, if you're open, you know, be confident, shoot it, step into it, and yeah, that's what we kept doing, and eventually they started going in.
Questions, please? Raise your hand. Right here.
Ian, can you talk a little bit about the physicality? Coach talked it was going to be a physical game. It seemed like there was several times you got roughed up in there.
Question for Ian.
Ain't nothing but a little bit of work. We knew it was going to happen. We knew it was going to be a physical game. It was expected, and yeah, we had the right mentality, the right mindset coming into the game. We knew what to expect. Yeah, I got roughed up out there. I'm a little bit of a lightweight, but it's all in the head.
Right here.
Jayla Johnson, IUPUI, Sports Capital Journalism. At halftime, you guys were up. What was the talk going into, the second half of play with that lead? How did you guys keep the momentum? What was your message to the team?
Coach?
The message was I felt like they had 11 second chance points in the first half, and we only had 4. And I think they had 37 points. And so, it seemed like every time they got an offensive rebound, they scored it. And we knew that was, that's their game. And so we knew we needed to up the ante, making contact box outs. Like a couple times we were leaking out, especially when we went to our 1-3-1. We didn't have all 5 guys like going in there to rebound. And, whenever you're playing TCU or a Big 12 team, like you got to go, all 5 guys got to go rebound that ball. So that was the main message, and then telling them, I was proud of them. We only had 3 turnovers at halftime, which got us that lead.
Back in the back.
Brian Henson with the Indianapolis Star. This question's for Coach and Ian. Isaac mentioned taking the red shirt last year and coming back kind of a different player this year. What have you all seen from him in terms of that development?
Coach, we'll start with you.
Yeah, he's grown so much since June, our first practice. And I've said it before, like he's improved maybe more than anybody I've ever coached in a, whatever it is, 7-month span. And he really, I'm proud of him because he gave himself up for the team. Like some of the stuff it was uncomfortable for him because he had never played the style that we play. And there's a lot of new stuff for him. This is his 3rd coach in 3 years. And so, he kept fighting, and he's won us so many games this year. And anytime he shoots it, like a couple of guys on our team, like I think it's going in every time. He's got a pure stroke, and he's a weapon. There's not many guys his size that can really shoot like that. But I'm more proud just of his progress mentally, and and being a great teammate and all that stuff, because it's what our team is as a whole, and he's a huge part of that.
Ian?
Like Coach had mentioned, it was just his willingness to, buy into what the team is doing. And, he's had some stuff and mentally up and down, some bad games, some good games, but he always stayed ready for it. And, we're really proud of his effort, like Coach mentioned again, all the new stuff and new playing style that he was introduced to. And, he just took everything as a challenge and just got better throughout the whole year.
Right here.
This is for anyone up there, but you guys definitely came into this game with a chip on your shoulder after losing to San Diego State. I know you guys already talked about this a little bit, but how are you going to keep that going against Purdue?
Isaac?
I think we just got to continue to look at what we have as a team. We work really well together as a team when we decide to work together as a team. And a lot of teams have difficulty with us when we do that. And so I think no matter that they're the number 1 seed or been ranked throughout the country for however many weeks, I think we have the capability to hang with anybody. Our coaching staff does a really good job scouting. And when we lock in and are aware of what the teams can do and how we can stop them, I think we have a good chance.
Danny, you want to talk about?
Yeah. Obviously a tremendous amount of respect for Purdue. Like Coach Painter is one of my favorite coaches to follow, because he feeds the post guys too. We like to do that. So we try to, we take stuff, and then, I have an assistant. We have to be very, very careful in our scout the next 48 hours, because I have a guy on my staff who played at Purdue. So I got to make sure, because I know how crazy Indiana is. So we might have to keep Coach Johnny Hill out of our staff meetings for a couple days. But they're a tremendous team. We know how physical they are, and we're going to have to we're going to have to play like we did tonight. We have to play with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. We know the place is going to be rocking. And they got unbelievable fans. And so it's going to be fun. But we have to be really good offensively and defensively, to have a chance to win that in the last 8 minutes.
Got time for a couple more right here.
This is for Coach or for the players. I mean, I know you guys weren't around, you probably weren't even born, but it's been 23 years since Utah State won an NCAA game. Has that been talked about at all, about the streak and also the Mountain West? I mean, you guys in San Diego State are the only ones left now. Coach?
Yeah, we don't talk about it. I'm proud of the tradition that we have at Utah State. There's been some, they haven't won a tournament game, but we've been to the tournament a lot. And a lot more than a lot of other teams. And so, it's so hard to win a tournament game. It takes some luck, but it takes, guys making big-time shots and big-time plays like tonight. And, it's awesome for our program and our community.
Right here. We're going to take two more.
Just for Coach Darius Brown, I think he tied the single-season assist record at Utah State. Can you just talk about that accomplishment, what it means for Darius Brown to be able to accomplish something like that?
It's awesome because you think of all the great point guards, that played at Utah State, and for him to do that in his only year, he's already a Utah State legend, by some of the shots he's hit and just the type of person he is. But he, I'm proud that he got that because he's one of the most unselfish players I've ever. He'd rather pass than score. There's not many kids like that in the country now. Like everybody, he's a point guard. There's a lot of points guards out there that want points. He's not one of those. He's a true point guard, and he makes our team go.
Last question.
Isaac, have you faced a player similar to Zach Edey before, or I guess looking back at your season, is there any games in particular or players that you've gone up against that you look at for as a point of reference going into Sunday?
Kinda. So in high school, there was a guy who was kind of an internet sensation. His name was Matt Van Komen. He played at Utah first and then St. Mary's after. And he wasn't as big as him, but he was like 7'4". And so it's a very unique presence there in the paint that you can't ignore it. We'll just try to do our best against him and root him out and get low. And it's hard to compete with him up high, so you got to compete with him down low as best as you can and do as best as you can on the perimeter to stop the entry feeds. So we'll see.
Thanks, Aggies. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. And ladies.
There you go. That's, tell you what, really fun conversations. Isaac Johnson, Ian Martinez, and Danny Sprinkle. Take a break, come back, continue on with your post-game show. Valley Office Systems, a proud partner of Utah State Athletics for 10 years. See valleyofficesystems.com for all your copy, print, scan, and furniture needs. We continue on with your post-game show, folks. Ding dong, the streak is dead. Utah State gets it done, and they get the victory tonight over TCU. Final score, 88-72, and they keep on dancing. We'll continue on with your postgame next on the Aggie Sports Network.
Home of Aggie basketball with pregame beginning 1 hour before tip-off and postgame interviews and Aggie Call after the game on News Talk KVNU Logan.
Winter is the perfect time to let the Allergy Clinic help with venom testing for next spring and summer. Test now and begin treatments to help with life-threatening stings from honeybees, yellow jackets, white-faced hornets, yellow hornets, and wasps. The Allergy Clinic has helped thousands of people enjoy the outdoors worry-free. The Allergy Clinic in 2 locations, North Logan and Providence, accepts most insurance, including SelectMed. Call the Allergy Clinic at 753-7880. That's 753-7880.
What can a business technology partner do for you? Well, a great one like Les Olson IT will help you become more efficient, more secure, and help you stay on top of your network. Plus, they have all the products and services you need. Computers, servers, business telephones, surveillance cameras, office applications are just the start. Les Olson IT's network cabling team can help you build a network from scratch or improve your existing network. Learn more about your office technology partner at lesolson.com.
Les Olson IT.
She was there for you on your first day of school and all those special moments since. Now, Mom needs you. When Mom or someone you love needs home health or hospice, give them the care they deserve. With core values of character, experience, and trust, see why we have been voted Best of Northern Utah. Contact Aegis today, 435-723-9000, or find us on the web at myaegis.com.
You were there, you watched the game, or you heard it all here on KVNU. So now it's your chance to give your thoughts and ask your questions about the action as KVNU Aggie Game Day continues with Aggie Call. The phone number is 435-753-KVNU. Text line is 435-339-0321 for your comments and questions. Aggie Call is brought to you by Daryl's Appliance, Advanced Heating and Air, Advanced Fireplace and Stove, Golden Spike Electric, Alpine Home Medical, S.E. Needham Jewelers, My Mattress, Riverwoods Conference Center, Prodigy Brewing, Cache Valley Bank, Aegis Healthcare, and Jarek's Fine Jewelry. And now, here's John Russell and the longtime voice of the Aggies, Al Lewis, for KVNU Game Day Aggie Call.
Oh, I remember Greensboro, North Carolina, the Greensboro Coliseum so well, and I was thinking after all of these years, will we ever see this again? Oh boy, it's so nice to have Utah State beat TCU tonight 88-72, running away in the second half after, again, they kind of grabbed the lead at the end of the first half, had the lead at locker room. It looked like TCU came out with a little more focus there early, and then the Aggies just put the pedal down, kept it going. Isaac Johnson, terrific. Ian Martinez finished after that. They played the last 6 minutes, 11 seconds without Great Osibor. Got his fourth foul, went to the bench. It looked like he had cramps, but he was celebrating with everybody after, so he'll get enough fluids in, and they will play again on Sunday. John Russell, you've been around now the Aggies a heck of a long time, maybe not as long as me, but that's pretty satisfying.
Well, I'd like to say that they did it for you, Al. You deserved it. I think they did it for Aggie Nation.
Yeah, and we all
really,
deserved it.
The highlight of one of the highlights of the game afterwards, watching the players all singing the Scotsman. They love this. What a great win!
How? It's this team has been destined to do something different. And again, it continues to come up about the scenario of where they're at with the new coach and new team and all these kinds of things. But they have done stuff along the way. We've only had two 30-win teams at Utah State. They are now the fourth 28-win team that we've ever had at Utah State. We would have never thought you'd win 28, win the Mountain West, win an NCAA game now for the first time since they beat Ohio State in the overtime game. Tony Brown made the shot at the end of the regulation time, sent it overtime. We ran away from Ohio State in the overtime, kind of like this team did in overtime. When they get to teams to overtime, we kind of run away and hide. Then they lost the game to UCLA after that. And I remember we missed like 19 or 21 straight shots the next game we played at Greensboro. And that started the string of 10. It was 9 straight tournaments we had been to without winning. We could have beaten Kansas. We had 2 3-point shots in 2003 that didn't go in. We could have beaten Marquette in Boise. We ended up losing by just 1, and we had the lead for a lot of that game. Those were our 2 best chances. I mean, the Kansas State game in 2011 in Tucson was 5, but it was kind of like I think we kind of crept back towards the end of that game. Don't think we had a chance. But again, we've only had 2 other chances to win really until tonight.
And they did it the right way. They got out early. They struggled at the very beginning of the game.
A little bit.
TCU did a good job. They came out, they played well. But the Aggies got the lead. They had a halftime lead. And really just, it's so much easier to play ahead than it is to play from behind. That's what you talk about when you look at Marquette and look at Kansas. They really had to battle back to get in those games. And you waste a lot of energy. You use a lot of energy getting to that point. Tonight, Aggies did a phenomenal job. Didn't panic after going down early, got back into it, took the halftime lead, kind of weathered that initial little rush by TCU in the second half, and then just kind of played so smart. Just again, great
against
win.
a team that relishes turnovers.
Yeah.
We had 9 for the game. Only 9.
Well, there's so many numbers that as we talk about this throughout the show, I want to bring up, but the fact is that we knew that there were things that they did, and they did well. You talk about rebounding. Yeah, they kind of beat us up on the boards. But you talk about they get other teams to turn the ball over, second chance
They only
points.
were +5 on second chance
Yeah.
with all the extra rebound chances they had. We blocked shots tonight. That was a big part of it. The Aggies blocked 9 shots, even though they didn't get offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
They blocked 9 of those. A lot of them were second chances when finally we might not let them score after they got some of those offensive rebounds.
Yeah, and TCU only with 4 blocks, and just getting into the games. Fish was the man tonight. Isaac Johnson, just inside and outside.
He deserved that kind of game. He deserves it. He really does.
But you look at Sacco came in and he played well defensively.
Javon Jackson gave us that 3 in the first half we needed. So everybody contributed to this win. They really did. Mason
wasn't it good to have him back?
It was good. He kind of got a good start, struggled, got into a little bit of foul trouble again, but that drive on the baseline when it was getting a little critical there, it hung on the rim a little bit on that drive, but it went in. So
it's it's when the Aggies are successful is when you don't when you're going to get it from Gray, you're going to get it from Darius. But when the other guys can step up, but I want to go back to a comment you were talking about, the beginning of the year. I remember our friends at the Full Court Press saying, "Man, if we can go 8-8, if we can go 500,
9-9 in our league,
we would be doing so well." And Darius really hit it at the in his post game interview. He says we've been doubted all year, even with the seeding. Was just doubting as to what Utah State can do.
Well, the whole committee doubted us, and then they came out and said, "Oh, you guys just beat up on each other. You didn't play a non-conference schedule." There was not one team in our league that had a losing record non-conference. Yeah. A lot of the teams, we can't play these regional matchups of teams that they play neutral courts and that. We might get into some tournaments. Nevada had taken care of TCU in the preseason, and we did it as well tonight. 88-74, if you're just tuning in. We're analyzing it, but we want you to join with us with phone calls and with your texts. The phone number is 753-5868, 435-753-5868, and the text line is 435-339-0321. How sweet it is that Utah State does end the NCAA streak. Now, they do get number 1 Purdue, or almost number 1. They've been number 1 a lot of the year. But, again, it will not be easy, their next game. But you know what? These guys have made some magical things happen. Who knows what happens Sunday? We'll have to wait and see what time they put on this on Sunday to get this game on TV. Experience the Agis difference with their core values of character, experience, and trust. Agis Home Health and Hospice, one of our game sponsors, and My Mattress. Ryan and Travis would like to show you IntelliBed Purple, the other great lines they have at 981 South Main and 1950 North Main. Your very best mattress for the very best sleep from My Mattress. Back with more. We'd love to have you join with us on the calls, the texts. Game day continues as the Aggies really light up the Blue A on top of the Old Main tonight with an NCAA victory.
Nothing better than a great song from 1976. Hi, this is Bob Larson with LSS Insurance, and I'm talking to you, graduating class of 76. Even if you're still working or getting ready to retire, Medicare is a conversation we need to have. Let us help you understand Medicare and all your options. Don't rely on TV ads or annoying phone calls. Having a local agent makes all the difference. Call LSS at 752-9493. Call 752-9493.
Spring will get here, and when it does, those old rusted-out vehicles need to be moved. Call DD Auto and Salvage and let them pay you for that junk vehicle. DD Auto and Salvage makes it easy and fast to get rid of your junker vehicles, paying you the most money possible. Pickup is available. DD Auto and Salvage in Logan wants to pay you today. Call 787-1204.
That's 787-1204 today.
See store for details.
Beazer Lock & Key specializes in securing your world with their expertise in locks, keys, and hardware. Every aspect of their services is meticulously tailored to ensure your safety. They offer a vast selection of hardware brands and access control options, along with custom master key systems. With Beazer Lock & Key, you have control of your facility's access 24/7. For 28 years, Beazer has provided top-notch security solutions that stand unmatched in the industry. Visit 4th North, 1st West, and Logan, or go to beazerlock.com to discover more.
Hello, I'm Ashley Nate, Operations Manager at Cache Valley Bank. My calm and caring personality combined with my quick problem-solving skills help me provide my customers with the personalized attention and exceptional service they deserve. And I look forward to providing you with that same experience. Come visit the Preston branch and ask for Ashley, or give me a call to see what opening an account with Cache Valley Bank can do for you. I look forward to meeting you. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Nearly 21 years ago, Cafe Sabor opened their doors in historic Logan train station. With the help of hundreds of amazing employees and patronage of thousands of wonderful customers, Cafe Sabor is proud to have been voted 3 years in a row Cache Valley's favorite Mexican restaurant in the Best of Northern Utah contest. Follow Cafe Sabor on social media for giveaways and promotions. Search Cafe Sabor for a restaurant near you. Thank you, Cache Valley, from your friends at Cafe Sabor.
The Aggies, brought to you by Alpine Home Medical. They bring wellness home on News Talk KVNU, where Utah State is always number one.
And they are number one tonight for sure. And again, they're into the final 32 in the NCAA Tournament. First time they've gotten to the second round since 2001. The only team that actually did a little bit better than that was the team in 1970. They won 2 games to get to the regional final. They were in the final 8 when they played UCLA to go to there, and that was UCLA in the run of their 10 consecutive championships. They beat the Aggies with Sidney Rowe and Curtis Rowe, Sidney Wicks, and those guys back in 1970. That was a game where Nate Williams was hurt with a bad ankle, and Marv Roberts tried to do all he could. I think he scored like 33 or 35 in the game, but again, Utah State came up short in the regional finals. Other than that, they've never made a run in the tournament after a first-round victory. So they've got a chance. But, again, it's Purdue coming up. But let's relish the win tonight. Yeah. And Utah State wins at 88-72.
Not much of a reward, but, look, you gotta play these big schools every once in a while. And, they have an opportunity. We can analyze it a little bit here, but, not a bad matchup they've got. I loved what Isaac Johnson said in his post-game interview. If you didn't catch it on the national sports,
TV.
He said, look, Edie's going to do what Edie does, and we just have to try and lock down the other guys and see how it plays out.
He did have 30 and 21 tonight. They were TCU was up 18-10. Aggies got back in the game and kind of went back and forth with them. Took the lead for good at 37-35 with about 3 minutes to go on a Martinez three-point shot. Went on a 9-0 run there, led by 6 at the half. Got it back to a 2-point game at 43-41. Then the Aggies took it out to 10, and then finally, when Darius Brown hit a deep three, yeah. That was a double-digit lead that Utah State never gave up on the rest of the game and win it going away 88-72. And James is nice enough, as always, to call in after a lot of these games, win or lose. And James, it's nice to hear from you on an NCAA win night.
Absolutely. Hi, Al. Hi, John. Oh, you got to be happy for those guys. You just got to be happy watching them run into the locker room. I mean, talk about smiles on their face and just excited. And go blue. That was really good. Just happy for those guys and what they've done this year. I think you guys have talked about it, but turnovers tonight, we were really good controlling the ball. And then that 1-3-1 really gave them troubles. It really, I think it turned the game around for us, and they really struggled and slowed them down a little bit. And so, just a great win. Got to share something with you. I was in Detroit this week doing some training, and we were talking about the brackets and who they had on each of the brackets. And I got to say, I'm very happy that everyone I talked to in that training class, there was about 10 of us, everyone had Utah State winning that game. So, that made me feel proud that they recognized who Utah State was and that they had Utah State winning. So very happy for this team tonight, guys.
I think so, too. James, always thanks. Grateful that you're calling in and being our call guy. Thanks a lot for it, and it's joy. Let's talk again on Sunday about a magical upset, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to you then.
The thing is, Al, you sit there and I think years past, at least for me, you'd sit there and go, hey, we got to win. That's great. It'll be fun to be in the Sweet 16. I'm not coming out here saying that the Aggies are going to win on Sunday, but I'm beginning to believe that they got a chance.
This team has just done so many.
Because they believe.
This team has validated their run in the Mountain West with this win. and they stand up and say, hey, our conference is something, because, again, our conference is losing a little bit of face. Let's face it, with what was going on. And New Mexico's loss today was really disappointing to me.
Yeah.
They're favored against Clemson. The national people think they're favored. We were a 3.5-point underdog. But they think Clemson is going to be beaten by New Mexico, and New Mexico just got blasted today. Reno gives up a 17-point lead in the last 7 minutes of the game and loses. Colorado State went through a spell in the first half against Texas, and then the rest of the game they kind of played even, but they couldn't make up the difference. But, they humiliated Virginia. Say if they humiliate Virginia, do things, and then, our conference gets validated and says, hey, we deserve better seeds. But, again, the Aggies have survived this. But just think now, if they got a 7th seed, they might play a 2nd seed team rather than number 1. But,
if they were in the same bracket, they'd be playing Tennessee. And I've seen Tennessee a couple times. I
might rather play Purdue than Tennessee, even though Edie is hard. They can throw it up over top and really have a hard time there. And that's what happened to Grambling State today.
Yeah, you're going to already see Fish is going to have just an even bigger game. And Sacco's going to be able to use – he's going to have to come in and use all 5 of his fouls. Be smart about it, not in 5 minutes, but,
And we got to keep Great on the floor. When he got his 4th foul, 6 minutes, I was thinking, oh, okay, we don't want this to be a problem. And it wasn't tonight in this game. These guys survived. We'll tell you, just huge plays after that. Oduje made a couple, and Mason made that drive, and Ian Martinez was terrific, and we need that. We need to have his scoring. He ends up leading the team with 21. Osibor had 13, Brown had 10, and Isaac Fish Johnson down on the floor, the one shot going to the break where he's down on the floor almost licking the floor. Whatever, that was a great shot. And again, he was doing the fish, and a lot of people were doing it. He had 19 in the game tonight.
Well, you just can't say enough about what he did tonight, and you see a lot of it on the offensive side of it. But defensively, there were 2 plays where they went down, and Josh and Ian both had back-to-back blocks. But even more importantly, there at the end, one of the TCU players came down the middle, and you could tell he was aware that Isaac was there, and I think he altered that shot.
Johnson, 4 blocks to go along with these 19 points. Were we the first 8 seed to win? I know a number of other 9th seeds won, at least a couple of them for sure, and I didn't know. There was one that I didn't look up before the game. I know 2 9s, I think, won today against 8s.
So Florida Atlantic FAU was an 8th seed. They lost.
And somebody
Nebraska was an 8th seed.
They lost.
Utah State, of course, gets the win. And Mississippi State lost to Tom Izzo and Michigan State.
We're the only 8th seed that won. Going in, the 9th seeds actually had a 4-game margin of wins over this seeded type tournament. So at least the Aggies stood up for the 8th spot, too, besides standing up for our conference and standing up for Utah State. That was just great.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
All right, text line. We got anything in there that people want to talk about? Again, 435-339-0321, the phone number, 753-KVNU, and it's 11:30. But the Aggies have just won an NCAA game, folks. And I didn't think I'd see it. It was 23 years ago. I was at Greensboro doing that game, and grateful to be able to watch tonight and see that happen as the Aggies stopped a 10-game NCAA losing streak, but 9 in a row in the first round with this one tonight. What do you got over there?
So got a couple. We'll start with 89-68, and just alluding to the fact that, there are a lot of folks out there that were not happy with the Mountain West getting 6 spots, and the way it's looking, you've only got Utah State and San Diego State left now. So these 2 teams really not need to represent. But 89-68 said, well, Boise State did their usual end-of-the-season tank job. Hard-pressed to say that I'm sad about them losing. And
they have now lost all 10 of the NCAA games they've ever played. Yeah. They've been twice in that play-in game, at least twice, if not 3 times.
And they just can't pull it off. But 89-68, if I'm not mistaken, this is the widest margin that the Aggies have won a tournament game by. I'll let you look that up while we move on to
They ended up winning by 9 in the overtime against Ohio State. I don't have to look very far for all the wins.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
We beat Santa Clara by 1 to play UCLA in that regional final in 70. We beat Texas El Paso by 10 before that. We beat Arizona State by 2 in 64. We beat Arizona State by 5 in 62. And we beat Texas by 2 in 39. So this is it. That's the big, by far and away, 16-point win, the biggest in the tournament.
And they played that, it's the old saying, well, they won by 16, but the game was a lot closer. No. Aggies really controlled that game.
Once Brown made that 3, like I said, that was with just about 11 minutes to play. It was never under single digits. It was never to single digits again.
So great job. 51-80, really great game. From here on out, it's all gravy, baby. And yeah, it is. The great thing is the Aggies now can go in against Purdue and really play relaxed. You know, there's no one that's going to expect them to win. Not only are you playing Purdue, but you're playing basically it's a home court game for Purdue.
A huge crowd there before the game.
It's going to be for them,
Yep.
and so you've got nothing to do. I'm going to skip this one. We'll come back to this one later. 93-15. Purdue, you've just been put on notice. Let's go Aggies. Guarantee you they're not going to be looking past this team. 6-5-4-3, finally an NCAA win. 1 every 23s is not a good average, but we'll take it. Good matchup for the game against Purdue. I don't think the next matchup we got a good matchup. We need to talk about that. I don't think the next matchup is favorable for us. Mountain West teams as a group have been disappointing.
Well,
so
I mean, you play a number one team, a number one team that's been there, and they've been 1, 2, 3 almost all year long in the ratings and things like that. So
your thoughts on that comment about this game, the TCU game, being a good matchup for Utah State?
Well, I mean, when Nevada had beaten them, you looked at it, and the things that stood out to me is, and here at Jalen's keys to the game.
Yeah,
we have to get 7+ 3-pointers made. We made 8.
Mm-hmm.
So, and his other Beezer lock in the game have to block out defensively. Now, we did not stop that with the offensive rebounds that they got, but look at the second chance points. Could have been a whole lot worse than it wasn't.
Big.
And we did box out and keep people around. There were a couple of longer rebounds, and then we blocked shots that kind of compensated for a lot of that. So we did hang in there, and Isaac Johnson led the way of being kind of our inside stopper.
Yeah.
But we got, I mean, Martinez and Aduje can really jump and block shots as well. Aduje blocked 2. They gave Martinez 1. They gave Mason a block shot, and they gave Sacco a block shot. So Great didn't get one, even though he had the 13.7 rebounds, 4 assist game in the game.
Played really well.
2 steals for Great, too.
Yeah, it was a great defensive effort. And when you talk about the rebounds, you look at the numbers, they clearly did a better job, but they did not shoot well, especially after that initial run. There were a lot of offensive rebounds that they got that were just horrific shots on their part, and I think we were in position. Would we have gotten? Who knows? But we were in position. But it goes back to what you just said. The key was that second. They could have gotten 100 offensive rebounds, but if they can only get 10, 15, 20 second chance points, well, there you go.
They were plus 11 on the boards, but it was only plus 4 second half. And I remember going down the stretch, it was like pretty close to even in the second half.
Yeah.
All right, those are our Beezer locks from Jalen. Jalen will be back with us on Sunday when we have it. We don't know exactly the time yet. That'll be decided. If it doesn't come out late tonight, it should come out sometime tomorrow when the Aggies will play on Sunday. Hey, you can replace all the, with the help of Beezer, you can repair any doors, locks, keys, security systems. Replace all your door hardware, including locking and latching systems, panic hardware as well. It's Beezer Lock and Key. More coming up post-game. We'd love to have you join with us. Text lines available, 435-339-0321. The phone number is 753-5868, 753-KVNU. As the Aggies win in the tournament, they again, run away from the TCU Horned Frogs, and they're 3-0 now, all-time against TCU.
There you go.
Yep, he won a game in a tournament here in Logan back in those Big Blue Classic days, and then we won another game in the 60s against him down there. So we've won one at home, won one on the road, and won one at neutral court against TCU. Win tonight. Again, final was 88-72, and back after this.
The Sportsman on Main Street is loaded with great clothing, shoes, and equipment. This is Mark inviting you to come in and check out our awesome store. For 71 years, we have outfitted you, whether you are going on the trail or to the theater. Trust me, you won't see yourself coming and going as we work hard to have some of the most unique clothing and shoes you will see anywhere. If it's a bike, skis, or a unique clothing and shoes, I promise we will take care of you only at the Sportsman on Main Street in historic downtown Logan with tons of free parking in the back.
Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent with Alpine Home Medical. I'd like to invite you to learn more about us. Since 1997, we've been Utah's premier one-stop shop for home medical equipment. What sets us apart at Alpine Home Medical is the superior level of customer service. We provide home oxygen, CPAPs, wheelchairs, scooters, breast pumps, and so much more. Come on down and get to know us.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Visit alpinehomemedical.com.
What are you going to do with your tax return? This is Jay with Daryl's Appliance. Maybe it's time to finally upgrade that appliance that is on its last leg. We have a showroom and warehouse full of in-stock appliances ready to go. Did you know our scratch and dent appliances come with a 2-year parts and labor warranty? Only Daryl's offers that. If warranty work is ever needed, we have you covered. 12 months, same as cash financing available. We always service what we sell. Experience the Daryl's difference. Daryl's Appliance, west on Airport Road.
Girls, insist he take you to Jarek's. Picking out your wedding ring is an experience you will never forget. Come to a place where the mood is right and the setting is perfect for romance. Jarek's Fine Jewelry in Logan. The perfect collection of memorable designs, classic creation, and modern marvels. If you want an intimate, romantic experience you will never forget, then insist he takes you to Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's at 930 North Main in Logan.
Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's.
No reason to wheeze and sneeze while around dogs and cats. The Allergy Clinic has extremely aggressive treatments for dog and cat allergies. Get the help you need and stop avoiding friends and relatives' homes because of their pets. Doctors Benyon, Blotter, and Robinette offer Cache Valley a full-time allergy clinic to test and address your allergy concerns. Most insurance products, including SelectMed, are accepted. The Cache Valley Allergy Clinic with 2 locations, Three Peaks Medical Plaza, North Logan, and Providence, 753-7880, or search for the Allergy Clinic online.
Aggie Sports coverage is sponsored in part by Beezer Lock and Key, the key to your secure home, business, and automobile. On News Talk KVNU, the voice of the Aggies.
We're also brought to you by the Les Olson Company. Remember, defense does win championships, and Aggs dug in against TCU, holding them to 29% shooting in the second half after they only got shooted 36 for the game. The Aggies are one of the best field goal percentage shooting teams defensively in the country, especially against the 3, but also not a bad defensive shooting team, defense, and Aggies did it tonight and win this game. The final score again is Utah State 88-72. And John, anything else over there?
Well, yeah, we got a couple, but first of all, we have the best listeners, 8387 texted in already. The time has been announced. So Sunday the game will be at 12:40. So it'll be the second game on CBS. So you know how it goes. They're saying 12:40, but the reality is that maybe about 1 o'clock. If there's it always kinds of runs.
Yeah,
early on.
You have to remember that when they take their almost 3-minute timeouts for the media time with all the commercials they run in these things, they do run longer than 2 hours that they kind of figure on and stuff.
I agree with 83-87, though, saying I would have thought it would have been a later game just because.
But it'll be the second game on CBS on Sunday.
After Marquette and Colorado.
So Colorado scored 102 today.
Yeah, without overtime.
And then the Aggies and Purdue will follow that at 12:40 or thereabouts. So we'll be on sometime around 11:05 or something like that, and then we'll join Scott for the coverage here on the radio. It'll be the same deal. We won't be able to stream through the KVNU app or through the website. We can stream pregame. We can stream postgame. We can't stream game time. That's Westwood One's property, and they are the ones. And our our sister station, will have that game on as well. From Westwood One is the way it'll work out. So the game should be streamed as well because there's really only a couple of games going at that particular time.
Yeah, it'll be the only one. And the great thing is, though, also it's on the mother station, so to speak. It'll be on CBS.
Okay.
So that'll be nice.
Clyde wants to join with us. Clyde, you like me, I think it sounds like, have been around the Aggies a heck of a long time, and we didn't see it was going to come again for 23 years, but isn't it nice to win an NCAA game?
Yeah, I'll be croaked in the next 23 years.
You know what? I'll probably join with you on that, Clyde.
But I'm glad for this because it might be my last chapter. Earlier you mentioned that time when we had Nate Williams and Marv Roberts. That was back in the days where the regions were true regions.
Oh, well, yeah.
And of course, remember, UCLA had 10 straight, and I think we could have beat that team.
Nate Williams got hurt. Yep, Nate Williams
Williams.
sprained his ankle in the game before, or in the practice before, or something, and he was really hobbled for sure. And again, in the end, it ran away to a 20-point game. But we know it would have been a whole lot closer if we could have had Nate in there to go along with Marv in that game. Sure.
Yeah, because you remember UCLA had that Wicks and Roll.
And what's interesting is that Utah State thought, the story goes, I've heard it from Liddell Anderson and others, that we really thought we had Sidney Wicks coming to Utah State, and then all of a sudden things shifted around very fast, and we didn't. But at one time he was headed here, it looked like.
Well, we've had some great times over the years, but nothing. I mean, this is one of the greatest, I think.
Well, the way this team's won games too, and made it such a special, magical year, and then to go in and play with this kind of feel after the way they kind of went out of that conference tournament where we didn't feel like they played great, being outscored 69-36 after they had that 17-point lead. We thought, okay, what are we going to see? And we saw this kind of game tonight. It was great.
Yeah, it was. I think if this coaching staff, they're pretty sharp. And I think they might just have a plan, especially where Johnson's had tonight. If he can sit out there and maybe pull that big guy out away from the basket, he might not get 21 rebounds.
Maybe not. That's scary.
But, what a great year to be an Aggie. I hope we can keep this coach for another year or two.
Ooh, it's going to be tough with all this stuff going on for sure, and there's going to have to be a lot of people come up with the money and all. But I mean, I think Danny Sprinkle can see how special this place really can be. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out. I sure hope so too. Anything else, Clyde? Go ahead.
We did have one guy that thought it was special.
Yeah.
They named the floor after him.
Yep, took a little while to get that done, but that was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, Stu Morrow had a lot of chances to go to the big time, but he was an Aggie.
Yep,
so
and he was the last coach to win an NCAA game. Yep, he won that game against Ohio State, and after that it was a little bit tough, the games, but he went through that Kansas game, went through the Marquette game, the two ones that we actually had a chance maybe to win. All right, Clyde, appreciate you very much. Thanks a lot.
You bet.
All right, it's great to have Clyde with us tonight, and 753 KVNU still available for you post-game as the Aggies win a tournament game and go on to take on Purdue at 12:40 on Sunday. There'll be the 4 games tomorrow, and then there'll be the 4 games on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, I'm glad Clyde brought that up because I know there's a guy sitting somewhere right now. Stu's enjoying this
so
win.
happy because he got here, got a chance. I mean, Danny Sprinkle's been always from afar, and he coached against Stu when he was early in his coaching days at Northridge and some of these places. So he's appreciated what Utah State has and knew that Utah State was a really good place to be. And then when he has had some time to really spend with Stu Morrill the last little bit, Stu's really, I think, liked him and he's liked him, vice versa type deals. It's been great.
Absolutely. But, it is the elephant in the room. We've had a couple of texters comment 4086. What can we do to keep Coach? 6001. I've been hearing rumors Sprinkle is going to UW. Love the win tonight. That's been a while, but what would it take? And we're going to have to leave that to the powers that be. Like you said, putting a little money in and hopefully helping out that way. But the big thing that I take from tonight was if that is going on, it's not influencing Coach and what he's doing or the players. We can talk about performances by Isaac and how well he played and Aduje and great game. I was really happy for Mason. Yeah, he could have done some more things, but just a great performance. But the coaching effort.
They went to the 1-3-1 zone that kind of changed the whole game, even though didn't have to stick in it all the time or didn't use it all the time. But again, that just seemed to really throw off at that time of the game when TCU seemed to be getting in a little bit of a rhythm.
And had them ready. You didn't see the ball. I thought, one of the things that will not be written, but I thought was a big part of Great's game is he didn't hold on to the ball like he he gets into a habit where when he hasn't had a touch for a while, he gets it, and it's not coming back out. He's going to do something. He was very good with the ball tonight. He kept it moving, kept it fresh. That's what the coaching staff did. They did a great job with their press.
Our side-by-side movement of the basketball from moving around the court, too, was very, very good.
And he had them ready for the press, even though it's not what you would consider, a UNLV press from back in the day, or even a San Diego State of today. They did a great job handling that press. I thought it was an incredibly well-coached game. But, of course, it helps when you have a coach on the sidelines and then one on the court. I thought Darius, again, great job running the offense.
Oh, and, again, 10 assists to tie Chris Clark, one of my real favorite guys. Yeah. Had a chance to see Chris this last off-season. He came back and played kind of an alumni game that they had against a team here in the Spectrum, and I hadn't seen Chris in a long time. He'd kind of traveled the world a little bit and was back living in the New York City area when I talked to him, and he came back, and he's now tied for Darius will get one more game to get a chance to have a few more assists than Chris. And, Chris has held the record since well back into the 2006, 8 years or something like that. I think he played in there. Yeah, Utah State Purdue will be the second game on CBS, and then James Madison and Duke will follow that on CBS. Then they will also have TNT and TBS will have later games on Sunday. Grand Canyon, who did beat St. Mary's, will play Alabama. Baylor will play Clemson later on. Also later will be Yale and San Diego State. That'll be a 7:40 game on TBS on Sunday night. Texas A&M and Houston, and Northwestern and Connecticut. So in the tournament tomorrow, the way it will work tomorrow is they're going to start off with the Dayton-Arizona game from Salt Lake City at 10:45. Unbelievable. Then Gonzaga and Kansas will play at 1:15, and Michigan State and North Carolina will play at 3:30, and then they'll go to TNT and TBS and the CBS will have one more game. Texas and Tennessee will play a game at 6 o'clock our time. But Duquesne, Illinois tomorrow. Oregon and Creighton will be later, so Stephen Ashworth will be in that game. And Oakland and North Carolina State will play also a little bit later. Washington State and Iowa State will also play a little bit later after those other games tomorrow.
I got to throw out North Carolina State. My brother-in-law, Marty, went there. Can you believe that they won 5 games in the ACC tournament, and then they turn around and they come in as an underdog to Texas Tech and took care of it? It's why you love, I go back to Kemba Walker, same thing, did it in the Big East, was not going to make the tournament. They win the Big East tournament, and he ends up leading them to the championship. Yeah. It's a great time of year.
It really is. Again, it takes over, with the conference tournament week, takes over 4 weeks of basketball to get what everybody's talking about. Let's take another break, and then we can come back if you'd like to join with us. The text line is 435-339-0321. Phone number is 753-KVNU. Aggies win the NCAA game tonight over, again, TCU running away. 88-72 the final.
Disasters don't wait for a convenient time. When the unexpected strikes, call the trusted team at Blue Sky. Remember, Blue Sky is that same great ARS team you know and trust.
This is Tom with Blue Sky Restoration. When disaster strikes, whether it's a flood, fire, mold damage, or an unforeseen accident, Blue Sky will clean up, repair, and restore your home or business like it was before. No disaster is too big or too small. For all your restoration needs, you can trust our Blue Sky team.
For more than a century, couples have shopped at S.C. Needham Jewelers for their diamond engagement ring. We have the largest selection of exclusive engagement rings in the area. Also, with the use of state-of-the-art technology, we're able to custom make with precision the ring of your dreams. You'll be able to work with our award-winning jewelry designer, Joseph Needham. You will also enjoy a vast selection of loose diamonds, allowing you to choose an affordable price range. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 7, where Utah gets engaged. S.C. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block at the sign of the clock.
Rely now on a York Affinity Premium Comfort System to keep your home cool and comfortable. The new Affinity systems are smarter and more connected and more efficient than ever before, and you can cut your energy costs by as much as 50%. Call Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, your local York dealer, to schedule a free system evaluation. Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning showroom is west of DI and online at advancedheating-ac.com.
We're not comfortable until you are. Advanced Heating and Air.
Many Aggie fans like to go to the game, some fans love to yell at the TV, and all fans like to wear a shirt or a jacket with their favorite team's logo. Aggie fans find the best selection of USU logoed apparel at Locker 42. Find yourself an Aggie t-shirt for $10. Locker 42 features Aggie logoed hoodies, jackets, and golf shirts, and a hat wall with over 40 styles. Women's specific apparel, youth sizes for the junior Aggie, and toddler and infant Aggie items as well. Locker 42 is a store for Utah State fans by Utah State fans, and proud to be part of Aggie Nation.
You've been putting up with a dirty, dusty wood stove for years. Why haven't you changed it? Go to Advanced Fireplace and Stove in Logan. Look through their showroom for ideas on Quadra-Fire pellet and wood stoves and Heat and Glow gas fireplaces. They have several demos in place so you can see firsthand how your project will look. And you can trust the pros at Advanced Fireplace and Stove. They'll do the job right. Advanced Fireplace and Stove. 752-7272. Online at advancedfireplaceandstove.com.
This Aggie broadcast is brought to you by Primrose Home Care and Hospice. Exceptional home health care in the comfort of your own home on KVNU, the heritage home for the Aggies.
Aggies 88-72. That's right. NCAA win number 7 all-time for Utah State. Is that right? Let me look at the record. Yep, number 7. 7-25 all-time. Again, it goes back 23 years for the last time they won. They were a 12th seed when they beat Ohio State, one of those 12-5 upsets then. Tonight, they were actually in the 8th-seeded spot. They were supposed to be the favorite against the 9, but they're always the toss-up games, and the Aggies were actually like a 3.5-point underdog, I think, going into the game, but they win tonight. And we appreciate Laurie staying up late to celebrate the Aggie win tonight. Laurie, go ahead.
Yeah, we just wanted to say, go Aggies. That was like such a great game. And Al, we appreciate you so much. You do such a great job. But, you know, we were saying they can beat Purdue. They keep Johnson on him. And Johnson had a great game. Let's leave him in the game.
Yep. No, absolutely. Just can't get in foul trouble. You know, you're going to get, Edie's going to get some fouls on you, and the calls will come. You wait, because he's the National Player of the Year. That's what happens. But you got to play smart against him. And sounds like Ian's got a chance, or at least a thought, and I'm sure the coach. Tell you what, Coach Sprinkle and his staff will come up with a game plan, and let's hope it works.
Sprinkle, we need to keep him. He's done such a great job, and one of your other announcers was like, we weren't expecting him to win. Yes, we were. We were expecting the Aggies to win. It was a great game, but go Aggies.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Laurie, it's nice to hear from you. Again, the problem is we thought maybe some of these other years we'd have. I still wanted to see Sam Merrill's 2020 team play in the tournament, the way they were playing, the way they were rolling and all of that. I think that would have been
and the makeup
our year.
of the team.
And we would have had a pretty good seed probably out of that team too.
Yeah, a lot of it comes down to, what the makeup of the team. You can have stars, you can have players. But you look at this team, boy, again, it's so many great role players and so many guys stepped up tonight. You look at the numbers, though. Aggies shoot 55%, under 10 turnovers.
The best shooting game they've had since they won at Wyoming.
Yeah.
They shot great that night. We didn't play great, but they shot great that night.
And you look at a lot of the hustle, those sort of plays.
So those 50-50s.
We had more steals than they did, 10-6. We had 9-4 more blocks. Assists 22-13, and they had 14 turnovers. We
assisted on
right.
22 of 33 baskets. Wow. That's really something for sure. Great to hear from you, Laurie. 753 KVNU is still available. How about the text line 435-339-0321?
I think everybody's getting a second win. We've got a few here.
Okay.
We had talked earlier about, keeping Coach. I think we all want to keep Sprinkle.
Absolutely.
6021 asks, can the administration put a clause in a coach contract to say you have to be here at least 3 years? They can't. That's what the buyout's for. But nowadays, the school that you're going to, you're not going to go from Utah State to a Grand Canyon, who I think they beat St. Mary's tonight.
They did.
You're not going to drop down. So you're going to a bigger school. They've got deep pockets.
They're going to not bat an eye to pay whatever exit fee it is if that's who they want and what they want to pay somebody. I mean, you go to these big schools now, you're going to be looking at $3 to $4 million, at least $3 million type contracts for somebody at the next level from here. And so you're going to have to come up with a lot to keep him here. Although you can live in Logan on
pretty good
on a $2 million compared to trying to live in Seattle on $3. If you want to talk about I think.
And they don't have the herd, so come on.
Yeah.
27.
That's a football school. You know?
It is, yeah. I mean, come on. Although we've got both going on here. 27-63. Can we have oxygen on the bench for Osberg to have a hit when he takes a rest? He always looks so tired, but he doesn't stop.
I think that's his. I think that's just his look.
Little concern though, he did cramp up, and hopefully that's something. Well, I know the staff will be pumping him full of liquids and making sure that he's ready to go.
Lots of fluid now.
No doubt. 93-15 followed up. Let's see. Steam trains are so outdated. I like our chances on some. I think the steam train is
Edie?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
It's Purdue. They're the Boilermakers.
That's right, the Boilermakers. Okay, now I've got it. Okay.
It's after midnight. I think we're all a little tired. 2,200, a win for the ages for Aggie Nation, especially us old Aggie Nation. Incredible legacy, national exposure opportunity Sunday. Absolutely everything to win, nothing to lose.
Absolutely.
And I really appreciate that comment from 2,200. There are going to be people that are going to realize what Aggie basketball is about, and I think appreciate that. 2197. Man, again, our listeners are so good and so quick. Grand Canyon pays their coach more than we do.
Oh, I think that's true. Yeah, I think that's true.
But they also live in Phoenix. It's expensive there. 1326.
No, Utah's not cheap to live in anymore.
It's not.
We're finding out that the housing in Utah is about as high as anywhere per capita or whatever the prices.
1326. I'm so proud of the Aggies. The defensive intensity was phenomenal. I hope we go up in the net.
They were
smiley face.
Yeah.
No, they're a little. I think they're just chuckling.
Our intensity was there. You can see from the start. They went at it. You kind of get the feeling.
We parents hear our kids say lots of things that can get us pretty.
Straight up, it's midnight.
Okay.
You know, what was interesting defensively is when they went to the zone, which really was the turning point in the game. You did have Darius hit that deep three, but I think the zone was really the key to the game. But who was playing at the bottom of the zone?
Mm-hmm.
It was Darius, and it just goes to show what trust Coach has in him and what he does. And then when he is at the top, I just think it's so underrated. The fact that Darius really sets a very physical tone from the get-go. Teams are not able to really get into their offense super quick with him on top. He does such a great job controlling the flow. We talk about offensively, and we've had this discussion. He's probably the greatest point guard.
We've never had one.
State's
We haven't had a guy who can do all the things that he's done and won as many games as he's won and do what he does.
But defensively, then he turns around and he really does it.
He's really on it. Everybody knows Jarek's a popular engagement ring store, but they do lots more. Again, Jarek's, make it special, make it Jarek's, one of our game sponsors. Again, here post-game, Cafe Sabor. How about that for some great food tomorrow at the Logan train station? And Cafe Sabor is Cache Valley's favorite Mexican restaurant. We're also brought to you by LSS Insurance. One-on-one help, monthly classes. They did one this week, helping you about finding out about Medicare, but all kinds of insurance needs that you have. They can handle it all from LSS Insurance, 752-9493. Give them a call on Monday. And we've got one last break, and then we'll come back, and we'll finish it up. But you can finish with us. 753-KVNU is our number for the phone line, or 435-339-0321. The text line is available for you here on KVNU, where it's top of the hour.
Happening in Washington when it's happening on Wall Street.
That's the reason why we're going to continue, because I believe there is a cause here.
News Talk KVNU Logan.
Experience Barrel and Stave on Federal Avenue, where good food, good drinks, and good people meet. Using local ingredients to create